Hello everyone, this is my bow and arrow. It's a recurve. I'm going to show the beginners a little bit about traditional bows. So this is my model. It's the PSC Blackhawk model. And you see those little numbers where it says 60/50? What it means is a 60-inch bow over a 50-pound draw weight, which is on your left side if you see it. But let me press pause real quick. Alright, so first things first, when you have a bow and arrow, make sure your string is always waxed. So always have wax on your string. And you want to be kind of liberal. It's better to have more wax than less wax. And the point of it is to kind of make your string last longer. It will make the fibers on the actual string always stay in, it will always stay intact. So always have your bowstring waxed. Even if you store it and you're not going to use it for years, always have it waxed, because if you ever draw an old rusty string, it might break on you. So the next thing is how to unstring your bow. This is my method. There's two methods. I'll show you both. So one method is get a bow stringer, and what I usually do, I usually unstring the top arm of the bow. So if I'm shooting, this is my top, and so what you do is you put the larger section right inside the bottom arm of your bow, just like that. You see that? And the next part, the one you're actually going to unstring, you get the smaller part and you put it right on top of it. You put it in there also, and what you do is you step on it with both feet, kind of make it even. So then you kind of draw your bow, like if you're going to draw, and then you just unstring it. So this is an unstrung bow. See, it's loose, and here's the detachable part. So now to string it back up, this is the other method. You put it by your feet. Hold on. Try to remember how to do it again. There you go. It's the opposite. So what you do is you get it and you kind of pull really hard until you're able to actually fit your bowstring on your little notch. But you don't want to do that on a strong bow, especially like this. When I mean strong, I mean like a hunting bow, so a 50-pound draw weight or more. Even a 40, I wouldn't do it. And the reason is, while you're doing that, you're going to twist the limbs. And once you twist the limbs, the physics of the bow, it loses its power because you have a twisted limb. And in order to fix it, you got to send it to the factory, and they have to put it back on the mold and compress it back again. And to avoid that, just buy a stringer, and it's easy to string. Maybe if you have like a 20-pound, you could get away with it, but I don't recommend it. So now let me just string it back up. Remember, step on it, make it even, pretend you're drawing your bow, and put it back into place. There you go, just like that. So see, now my bow is strung again, and it's really simple. You might struggle a little bit with the tip, like how I was right now, but that's the easiest way to to string your bow. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually your arrow. So in case you didn't know, this is a recurve bow. Basically because it kind of curves like that. It looks like bull horns or some kind of horned animal. So about your arrows is that good quality arrows will have a little number on there. Let me press pause to show you. Alright, so that little number, it says 55 and 75. What that means is that this arrow is rated for a 55-pound bow to a 75-pound bow. And you never want to shoot arrows that are... Alright, so I was saying is that you never want to shoot arrows that are not rated for your bow. This is actually 5 pounds more for my bow, but it's better to go over than under. But the benefit of going under is arrows twist in flight, and the more it twists, actually the more accurate it becomes. So maybe you want to just go up to like 5 pounds less than what it's recommended. If not, your arrow is basically going to explode as soon as you release it. Another tip that was given by the old man, he was like 65. He told me that you want to put a little bit of glue on your feathering right on the tip, because when you release it, you don't want to get cut, accidentally get cut as soon as you release it. Like, it might cut your finger. So that's pretty much it. Also, these twist, just in case. You see the little notch where you put the bowstring on there? Oh yeah, let me tell you that also. So when you put your bow, you want to have that off color facing horizontally on the ground. What it means is following the ground. So you see that? It follows the ground going this way, like a horizon. Another thing is with the carbon arrows, these things twist. So if you ever put it like that, you could always twist it into place. And also when you draw, your stance is everything. You want to be pointing your feet 90 degrees to whatever it is you want to shoot, and you got to find your perfect spacing. And when you draw, you're not holding your bow like that. You're actually supporting it like that. Let me show you. See that? That's how you shoot. And as soon as you release, you kind of grab it, but usually you want to have like a sling. Most people have like a little sling, so as soon as they shoot, the bow falls down, and your sling or your piece of rope kind of prevents it from falling to the ground. If you go to the archery range, you might see people like that, and it makes it more accurate, because as soon as you let go and you grab your bow to prevent it from falling, you do move your arrow slightly, and that slight movement might actually miss your deer you're trying to shoot. So remember your stance, have a good stance, and the best way I could tell you is that it feels like you're one with the earth. Like as soon as you draw, you could feel perfect, like if you're part of the earth. That's the best way I'm able to put it. Best way to say is just practice. So let me move on. Also, these things are called silencers. This is kind of like a little fuzzy variety. I had this other one that I also really liked. Kind of looked like a bunch of little strings, or like a spider was on there. There's a large variety of bowstrings or silencers. So the next thing I want to talk about is your fish arrows. See, this is a common fish arrow. And this is the string that goes attached to it. I just wrapped it around my entire length of the shaft. And this little blue thing, it slides up and down. And that's where the string is attached. And it's made out of fiberglass. I was trying to remember for a sec. So it's made out of fiberglass. And you don't want to shoot a fiberglass arrow unless you have like a 50 or at least a 45 or maybe even a 40-pound draw weight or more, or else it's not gonna work. And if you shoot regular arrows in the water, it's gonna ricochet and bounce off, kind of like if you're skipping rocks. So don't shoot carbon fiber arrows. Another thing I want to tell you guys is that this little sleeve, it goes in your arm that you're going to shoot with. And the point is, when you release your bowstring, especially if you're learning, you might hit yourself a lot right here. And it's to prevent yourself from getting hurt too much. I mean, it's still gonna hurt, but imagine if there was nothing to protect your skin. It's definitely gonna hurt. Another thing is, you want to get your glove. This is a dedicated archery glove. You can tell by the 3 little fingers. Another thing I'm gonna tell you guys is how to hold the actual... Oh, before that, when you put your arrow, you want to hear a click. I'm not sure if you could hear it. Watch. So if you heard that click, that's when you know your arrow's in place. And when you draw, don't twist your string, because you see that the arrow just follows. So when you pull straight back without twisting the string. I'm trying to remember more things. Also, to hold your actual string when you're drawing, you could do 3 fingers under, or have 1 finger in between. This is my preferred method. It gives me more accuracy. But again, it's all practice, and depending on your hand, your size of your hand, or whatever. Some people, it's easier to draw heavier bows with 3 fingers under. But for me, I get more accuracy holding the... You don't hold your arrow. All you do is hold the string. But having that arrow in between kind of helps a lot for me. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is how to store your bow. The person that taught me how to shoot, the 65-old man, he was a nice American guy. He told me don't store it with the bow unstrung, because once you string it back up, you might actually break the bow, because I guess you could say the fibers or the cells of the wood are not used to being flexed, and it could shatter your bow again. He told me that's how he broke one of his first bows after like 30 years. But let me show you guys how to store the bow. Alright, so we're inside my room. So this is the way he told me to store it. Like when you go to the archery range, you're going to see like a little PVC pipe. And he told me just hang it like if you're at the archery range. And that's how I store it. Just, it's strung and just let it hang. Don't unstring it and store it. That's what he told me. So that's what I do. If you have any comments about it, please write them down. I'm down to know a little bit more about recurves and traditional bows, but that's what he told me. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. But that's pretty much what I was taught to do. If you know any more tips, please write them down. And that's pretty much it. You guys probably wanted to see me shoot the bow, but I have no targets. I don't go to the archery range anymore. I just shoot right here in this little farm area. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this video. I'll shoot the bow on a different segment on how to shoot your bow by actually demonstrating. So anyways, have a great day.